What is up, INDYCAR collectors? This is OBB, the diecast news guy, and welcome everybody to a very special diecast review for you guys, as I really appreciate you guys' support on these INDYCAR reviews. It means a lot to me, and it just shows you guys for $10 you can get yourself a good quality product that Greenlight Collectibles has to offer. And this one I know is going to be very popular because I am actually a fan of this team, in not only in INDYCAR but also F1. Here we're going to be doing not a diecast review, not a double diecast review, but how about, I think this is probably the first time I've done a triple diecast review on all three Arrow McLaren INDYCAR team diecasts. As I just realized I got this out of the order, so look at me, I can't even count. See, it's not 576, Brian, it's 567. But anyways, my camera is not wide enough to actually showcase this, so we're going mobile now, so look at this, up in the space, y'all. But we got ourselves the Patricio Ward diecast, one of the most popular drivers in the INDYCAR series. Felix Rosenqvist, back with Arrow McLaren, but now with the number 6 and with a familiar sponsor with the NCT data. And the newest member of the Arrow McLaren INDYCAR team, Alexander Rossi, your 2016 Indianapolis 500 champion. But really unique. I love the I'm not really a big fan of the package design, but I like how each one is incorporated with their livery. So you got the papaya orange, that NTT data blue, and the bright McLaren blue, which that McLaren logo is actually for a censored sponsor, which we'll get to in a second. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and unbox these bad boys, and let's take a closer look, as I would show the back of these, but that's just too much to review, and I don't know, if you guys want to essay, then you guys can do it on your own time. But let's kick off this triple diecast review on not 1, 2, but 3 of all of the 2023 Arrow McLaren INDYCARs. And alrighty guys, we got all 3 of these diecasts out of their boxes, and we're going to be going through each one of these one by one. If you guys are familiar with how these setups are, it's kind of like my mega diecast reviews, or the double diecast reviews, but that'll be a great time because it'd be kind of pointless for me to just review each car separately because most of them are pretty much exactly the same. But to kick things off, guys, we got to look at the Mexico native himself, one of the most popular drivers in the NTT INDYCAR series. We got ourselves Patricio Ward, or also known as Good Old Pato, which I guess means duck for Spanish, so if you guys wanted to know about that, then yeah. Don't believe me, just look at some of the David Land TikToks, alright? Because, yeah, he does have a TikTok. But this is my second favorite driver in INDYCAR. He was a good replacement for my boy James Hinchcliffe, but for anybody doesn't know, I'm a Pageant fan, but Pato, I've been a fan of him since last year. But here it is, the iconic number 5 Arrow Electronics car for the Arrow McLaren INDYCAR team, no longer called Arrow McLaren SP, but I feel like I'm going to screw that up. So there's one thing I already noticed that I am not really liking, and I guess this has something to do. This just shows you that Greenlight is not perfect, but the orange on here, it's like a papaya orange. Now this, you can't really tell because I have really good lighting and my hairy gloves are showing it, but this orange is a lot more darker. And when we get to side-by-side comparison, guys, I will show you how much darker it is. Otherwise, I might look like a damn crazy person, but regardless or not, guys, even though that part is dark, I mean, the colors are still nice and vibrant, guys. This is a very, very cool diecast with a lot of cool details. You can see we got ourselves a sponsor right there, the Electrolyte, or Electrobyte, I believe that's what it says. I don't know. I can't read today. Electrolyte. Okay, my God. So I wonder what that has in it. Probably something that's in your Gatorades or Powerades or my favorite body armors. But you see we got ourselves a nice, very visible gold Chevrolet logo, something that, you know, the NASCAR diecast do like. So, and then we got a little bit of details right here. We got number 60 right here, or 60 degrees. See that right there? I mean, that is just some incredible craftsmanship that I think all 3 of these cars have. So it shows you the amount of detail they got. Look at that, guys. Even if Lionel did this, guys, I mean, look at where that logo is. That's the Arrow McLaren logo. Oh, Lord, could you imagine if Lionel did something like that? There's the Arrow screen, and again, more colored Chevrolet logos. Absolutely beautiful. The tires are rubber, and they even have colored outline rims as well. And then if you look pretty closely, as my camera does not want to show you guys this, but actually in between these orange, each in between these orange rims, we got ourselves the McLaren logo. So that's something that they just added. I'm glad it's not the Google Chrome rims. I mean, don't get me wrong, those F1 cars are cool, but those Google Chrome rims really just look goofy. I'm sorry. But anybody who's familiar with Pato Ward's livery from last year, it's almost pretty much exactly the same, but they did made a few changes to it. I mean, just look, guys. I mean, look how clean the Arrow screen looks. I don't even know if there's a seat right there, but still is pretty cool. Very visible. You know, they've had some trouble with the aero screens in the past. You know, you will see some gaps, but look at this even detail right here where the entity data logo is. And look at this, guys. Even Greenlight Collectibles, you can barely see it, but now you can definitely see about that orange. You see how much more darker that orange is right there? I think it's just because this is plastic and this part's metal, but usually Greenlight does a decent job of that, but just shows you they're not perfect. So hopefully Greenlight is listening to this, hoping you guys could, I don't know, add a little more papaya to that, or just, maybe, I'm thinking they probably just painted this whole thing black and then they added the orange on top. That's probably something you see, what we see with the PTC mold cars, but not saying this is awful, but you could be a better job. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm a Greenlight stan, am I right? But you get the McLaren logo, which if you guys are wondering why the McLaren logo is right there, this is actually supposed to be a vape sponsor, which I think is Voos or Vuse, I believe, or Velo. It starts with a V, that's all I know. But it still doesn't look too bad, guys. I mean, they could have left it blank, but, you know, that's not what a diecast company is going to do. But again, more great details, guys. And I mean, I'm sorry, guys. You are not human if you don't like the McLaren cars. I mean, the orange and blue is just such a great combination. But you see what I mean? I mean, look at the front nose. Look how darker it is compared to the wing and the engine cover. Yeah, I mean, Greenlight, I'm hoping you get that fixed. I really do, because that does kind of bug me a little bit, but, heck, I am a diecast perfectionist after all. But, guys, even look this, guys. I didn't even realize this. They have chrome paint where the exhaust ports are, and even where the rear axle is. That is just incredible detail, guys. Just shows you guys. And these things are still $10. There was no need to raise the price or anything like that. They even have their own number right there, you know, their own manufacturer number, so that's number 3695. But now let's get on to the side-by-side comparison, guys, about Patricio Ward, as I didn't really talk about much about the driver, but you see what I mean? I mean, it is pretty much almost like last year's. I mean, there is definitely a lot more orange or papaya. But getting on to Patricio Ward, guys, I mean, comparing to what kind of a season he had from this year compared to this year, all I can say is I think Pato just needs to be a little more patient, man. The guy is, I like him and all, but just, dude, when you cut off Scott Dixon, what happened at Long Beach, you know you did something wrong, because Scott Dixon is just, he's the IndyCar GOAT, man, and he's just so chill. When you manage to tick him off, then you know you did something wrong. All right, and then Pato was pretty impatient when it came to the freaking Indy 500 as well. I mean, I understand Ericsson was making a big block, but just, and then he just had the bad luck just very recently at the Detroit race, which I thought was going to be a shit show, but it wasn't. But I'm hoping just, I think some of it just it has to be on Pato, guys. He has the car of winning the championship. I don't know. I think that's just him starting to grow up a little bit. All right, like, don't get me wrong, I like Pato. He is just a fun personality to be around with, but behind the wheel, he definitely needs to just be a little more patient, and then maybe the results can actually show compared to last year. Because last year, man, he was on a pretty good streak, guys. I mean, especially that Barber win. I was pretty excited when that happened, but and came very close to the Indy 500 as well. But I think the time will come for Pato, as long as he just, I don't know, knows what he knows, all right? And just hopefully he learns from his mistakes. I mean, it doesn't seem like he didn't really owe up to what he did at Long Beach, but and also at Indy, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, guys. Feel free to comment below what you guys think about Pato Award, because, I don't know, maybe I'll make this a live premiere. I doubt it, but we'll see. Just really showcase how good the IndyCar fandom is on my channel. But you can see right here, the differences are really just the small details. They added just more blue. But, again, like, this was not a problem last year, Greenlight, so I don't understand why the front wing was just darker, but whatever, though. I do miss the blue rims, but, again, just really, really great detail with these diecasts, as I probably will say that for another 2 more times, because I just realized we have to get on to the 2 other diecasts that are in here. So let's get on to this next one right here, which will be the number 6 NTT data, as I kind of had a voice crack right there. I guess I was pretty excited about this car for the Swedish native himself, Felix Rosenqvist. As you guys know, the other Felix driver, well, not the other Felix driver, the other Swedish driver, I didn't know Felix was the nationality, Brian, good lord, went on to win the Indy 500 of Marcus Ericsson. So, but you see the orange is still, it's actually a lot more brighter than the paddle car, but it still has a little bit of a tint to it. But what's even cool about this car, guys, is that this whole thing with Alex Palou and Felix Rosenqvist, because NTT data just, and then you guys know about the whole situation where basically Alex Palou wanted to join, you know, McLaren for this year, but he was still under contract with Chip. And then this kind of thing happened with NTT Data where they said, okay, we don't even want to sponsor Chip anymore. We're going to McLaren. So just seemed like just everyone was just on the chopping block for freaking Chip. But I mean, I hope that's not the case now because Alex Palou is just kicking ass right now in this series. But even with all that, guys, somehow, some way, they were able to bring back Felix Rosenqvist, guys, because they just see something in this guy, and no more better than what happened at this year's Indianapolis 500. I mean, yeah, grand or take, he has not got any wins yet with this team, but he did get that one special win at, I believe it was Road America from like a few years ago when he drove in his last year with Chip. I think it was 2020, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy's going to win, and I think that best shot was probably at this year's Indianapolis 500. He just had a fast car, but just unfortunately, just luck wasn't there, man. I just feel like he's just one of the most unluckiest drivers ever, guys. And heck, he probably wouldn't be racing anymore, guys, because remember he had that vicious wreck he had like several years ago, or very recently last year. I think it was at Pocono, if I'm not mistaken, the last race at Pocono. But yeah, Felix, I like the guy. He has him and Patricio Ward have really great chemistry. And I mean, Rossi definitely is an interesting person, but we'll get into them. But Felix, man, he's just pretty laid back. And, it seems like he just, I did like that little prank that they did with him because he was able to start in the front row for this year's Indianapolis 500. That they caught most IndyCar drivers, like during, I guess, like the picture day for, for the starting grid. They kind of took away his chair, so he just went to go pop a squad, and there was no chair, and then bam, right in the ass. But anyways, I know I'm talking to story time now. We got to talk about Felix, but it's just been an interesting year, guys, for Felix Rosenqvist. But I mean, I'm hoping the guy will at least win a race, guys, because I feel like his personality should be in IndyCar. We'll see what happens, but it looked like Alex Palou is probably going to have this ride for next year. But I do love the NTT Data blue that's on this. It looks really nice. I never thought you could see another different of another orange papaya and blue car, but somehow they did it, guys. And again, the same details that apply, just interior details right there. And just, I don't know, something about that windscreen or the aero screen just looks satisfying, guys. So that decaling, just, wow. That is just, that is pretty beautiful. As I just said that, look at that, it's really peeling off. My God, I think I'm becoming bad luck now. Good Lord. But just like Felix and my bad luck, guys, we'll just set it right there as I'm showing you guys that this is not a bullshit. Because in 2020 and his 2019 rookie car, you were able to pick up his NTT Data car. So really cool that we got ourselves a third NTT Data car for Felix Rosenqvist, even though it's with a different number and a new team and new manufacturer. But I just thought that was pretty cool because this, like I said, this just made sense. It made so much sense. I think that's the reason why he has a lot of opportunities. I mean, I think he, if I'm not mistaken, was it him or Patricio Ward, I think, where they finished on podium at the Indy GP. I know it was Rossi, but I think it was either Patricio or Rosenqvist. But yeah, I absolutely 100% recommend getting this car. This car was selling out at the Indianapolis 500 because we've never. This is the first. You want to know how long it's been? We've had a number 6 car for the IndyCar series in diecast form. No, it was not with Ryan Briscoe. It was with the great Robert Wickens from 2018. It's been that long. So, yeah, that's all I got to say right there because it's a new number, so it's automatically got to go in your field if you guys like collecting the diecast or do the stop motions. This one is a hardcore must-get for sure. But speaking of hardcore, we got to talk about this last guy, and I actually am kind of slowly starting to root for this guy just a little bit because it's a good underdog story, just like what he pulled off at the 2016 Indy 500. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest member of the IndyCar team for McLaren. The American driver himself, the 2016 Indianapolis 500 champion, Alexander Rossi. So freaking cool, man. And I know this livery is pretty much exactly just like Rosenqvist's from last year, but don't worry, the side-by-side comparison will show you that. But yeah, this has been supposed to be a fresh start for this driver, and he really needed it because after having those just horrifically bad luck years with Andretti Autosport, which probably costed him a good shot of winning maybe a good championship or two, because man, it's just amazing. This is why I love IndyCar, man, because you have underdog stories like this. Alexander Rossi, nothing was really working out with him at the Maraja F1 team. Nothing was working out for him. So, he just, after spending all that effort and time in his young years racing to be at the top at F1 and it just didn't work out, he decided to come back to the States and gave IndyCar a shot. And You know, the first year was as promising, but that's when the team was really trying to get stuff together. But boy, oh boy, when it came to Brian Herta Autosport and the Indianapolis 500, they always found a way to deliver. I know I'm kind of recapping about what happened in 2016, but this is mostly what Rossi has done since, because like I said, I'm sure being an Alexander Rossi fan, it has been freaking hard these last few years. I'm sure that you guys probably already quit and said, nope, I mean, could be worse. Could be a Hinchcliffe fan like I was. But with all the dark jokes aside, guys, I'm hoping for the best for Alexander Rossi, guys. Because after he pulled off that fuel strategy run at the 2016 Indy 500, I was like, this might be the next superstar for IndyCar. It just was that is the American dream, my friends. I mean, holy shit. But unfortunately, he has not really got much luck. I mean, shit, his last win came last year, which was on a long drought of not going races without a win at the Indy GP from last year's IndyCar race, the second race, if I'm not mistaken. So he has not able to win a race yet in this car. I mean, he did got on the podium. I think he finished third, I believe, or second at the Indy GP. But now the $1 million question today is, as I'm showing you guys this car over and over again like an endless loop, is Alexander Rossi going to be the next new star for McLaren? Is that going to be the case? I feel like maybe, but so far, he's still kind of having those bad luck issues, guys. So I don't want to say it could be just the driver, but just I'm hoping he is going to have some good results, because he could be possibly a championship contender if just luck goes his way. So a lot like, all his other two teammates as well, guys. The McLaren IndyCar team has so much potential, but just when it comes to just luck, I mean, it's better than Andretti, but it is still just not up there with what Chip Ganassi and Penske could do, because those we all admit, those are the top dogs in IndyCar. But with Alexander Rossi, guys, we'll still see what happens. You can see the McLaren logos is supposed to be what that tobacco sponsor is. I think it's Vus or Velo. But I'm hoping the best for Rossi. As now I'm going to showcase you guys side-by-side comparison, because I promise, because this video is already pretty long. But again, I hope you guys are enjoying this. The orange is just way too dark. Way too dark. I don't know what they were trying to do there, but the blue still looks pretty nice and promising. Again, it is very, very similar to last year. So you won't really see a difference. The only big difference is just the wheels, where they have those little McLaren indents. And then, of course, the front wing, of course, with the bigger number. Or actually, the smaller number. But that papaya orange is so much darker, you're going to know something's off. I mean, just look. Do you not just see a big problem here? Like, don't get me wrong, I love you, green light, but just, I'm not stupid, all right? It's like, this does not look good. I'm sorry. This is a lot more consistent than this. But I don't want to end things on a bad note, guys, but I'll just say green light. Hopefully, for 2024, you were able to fix this, because with that Kyle Larson car, you better get that sucker right, because that's going to be a hot seller. But in terms of this set, I know the $1 million question is, okay, what if I can't afford all three of these cars? Well, first of all, I would say just save up, because, my God, these cars are just absolutely worth every bang for your buck. Like I said, rubber tires, great detailed suspension, and a metal chassis, just for $10, compared to what you get now with $14 at the track with Lionel. But I would say, I definitely said to pick up the Rosenqvist car. With the Pato, I would still say yes to, because his diecast, no matter what, every year, they will freaking sell out, and they will cost a fortune the following year. So definitely, because in the long run, you'll thank me later. Because if you don't order a Pato diecast by the end of this year, good luck getting it next year, buddy. Because his diecast, like I said, they are just trendy as hell. With Rossi, maybe, because he's still a pretty popular driver. So I would say probably, but in terms of order-wise, Rosenqvist, Pato, and then Rossi. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this very convoluted triple diecast review. Hopefully this was not too overwhelming or underwhelming for y'all, but I really do appreciate you guys' continued support, and lots of great content are coming in this channel very soon. But until we meet again, guys, as I kind of ran out of English for a second. Good Lord, I need a break, y'all. This has been OBB, the Diecast News Guy, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. And just always remember to keep it real, and let's keep this diecast collecting trending, y'all.